kulikuwa na ufunguvu wa chakula na maji, tukawa tunapata magonjwa.
We had issues of food and water, and cholera was rampant. Water was so scarce that people had to walk many kilometers to fetch it. Even children dropped out of school to help their parents trudge the 15 kilometers to water, especially in dry seasons.
Siku yote kutafuta maji, haswa sana wakati mvua inakosa. Sehemu hii maji mvua ni haba.
In this area, we get very little rain, only a few weeks a year in most cases. Because of this, we decided to start these community initiatives, and we started it ourselves in the 8 villages, each of which has about 50 houses.
Tukafikiria sana tuanze tutafute maji haswa ili.
We decided to focus on water harvesting for subsistence farming in kitchen gardens. When we started meeting under a tree, in fact, our logo was people talking under a tree, discussing how to solve their problems. Since then, we have achieved a great deal in order to become self-sufficient.
Kutokea wakati ule mpaka wa leo, tumefanya mambo makubwa ili kujiendeleza sisi wenyewe. Na haswa sana wakati tulipopata usaidizi kutoka kwa.
And we got a lot of help from KCDF in 1997. They gave us funds, and by then we were a group of 63 villages. With their help, we were able to do a baseline study, which took 6 months. We didn't have any secondary school, and children, especially orphans, could not go to school. KCDF supported these children, and we took 32 of them to high school, from Form 1 to Form 4.
Hatukuwa na secondary school hapa. Na watoto wetu aswa, watoto yatima, hawakuwa wanapata masomo. Wakatupatia fedha tukasaidisha watoto 32 kusoma Form 1 to Form 4.
Our praise, we used to have a lot of mongeke, and now I think through the conflicts and conflict resolution that we are taught and how to relate with those people. Before Nikama, I was trying to differentiate myself from them, but once I got those skills, I went there, I applied those skills, and currently there were, I think some people know this, there were some 10 mogekes which were already to join. But once I associated myself with, I applied all the skills, how to do with them. Now those, in fact, they are really very active members in our group, and in fact they are doing well, and they have buried the hatchet about the issue of mogeke, and they are good now, good people, productive one in the community. Even I think one of them is our treasurer in the group. So it goes like that. In my community, youth have a negative attitude towards maybe projects. Like I know one group called it is called the Gare Youth Group. Those people had decided to start a certain project, but they were seeing as if when they start that project, it will not maneuver well, because they had a negative attitude towards that project. In fact, they postponed the project. But once I told them that we are always to be optimistic, to have the right attitude in order to prosper in life, and the things, and we needed to risk in life to pay a price. These people, in fact, picked the project that they had postponed, and currently the project is doing well. It was about mushroom project. You know, mushroom is very delicate to start that project. Now it's doing very well. Ata wamepata market where wamepata market kwa mtu anaitwa Joona Mustek, wenye wanamjua kwa hapa within Nairobi, and currently wanafanya mzuri. Kwa nini? They change their attitude, and that's nice. Thank you very much for KCDF and Quest, because once we were in Bounty Hotel, I used not to read motivational books, and currently I'm doing so. Make the little light you have shine all over the country, and in fact, we shall be able to get the Kenya we want. Ama ni aje?
In this community garden, We have crops like onions, as you can see. We have beans. We have maize. We grow tomatoes. We have vegetables, beetroots, carrots, spinach, and also okra in it. And it is a success to us because we have managed to do it within a very challenging situation. Insecurity, drought, almost 3/4 of the year, because we always have rains just a few months in a year. But with the help of the stakeholders and some other donors or partners, we've managed to have other systems that has helped us to continue with the farming. That is the irrigation, the technology. We have the FAO system, which is a local way, and the modern system, which is the drip irrigation, which is still new, and we are trying to improve on it to have all our farms use the same system. That is the technology on it. With the funding that we have, purposely is to help our beneficiaries in the program who are in dire need of food. That is the under-5s and all the caregivers who are taking care of orphans, and also the people living with HIV/AIDS.
My work entails addressing children's needs. An example of these needs is proper nutrition. Due to drought, many children are affected by malnutrition and other diseases. This is the reason as to why, as a community, we discussed how to support these children. So, we started this agriculture project so that it serves as an example for the parents to implement at home.
We at Tukaa, we are always grateful for KCDF. Being among one of our first collaborating partners, we found us when we were just like crawling in infancy. But nowadays, as a group, we can boast of a mature organization that can talk of even donating and supporting other people.
Happiness is not what is for me. Happiness comes from how I make others happy. That reflection of others' happiness is on me. But the idea was that you have a role to play in a society. The country is becoming more poor and poorer. And if there are no people who can hold hands to the people who are smart, who needs opportunity, there must be somebody to hold their hand. You can't use their life, but at least you can hold their hand.
KCDF was formed way back in 1997, and it was actually formed by a group of Kenyans from different areas who were very concerned by what was happening to communities. A lot of resources have been invested in various communities, in various programs, but very often when you come back, sometimes you can't see the impact, and they really wondered what was wrong, what was not being right. And as they did more research and consulted, they realized that Kenyans were not, there wasn't sufficient investment in building the capacity of communities to drive their own agenda. There wasn't a high recognition of what that agenda was. A lot of donors come here to do what they've chosen to do from wherever they want, and not necessarily being mindful of where communities are or what really matters to them. We believe communities have a say. Communities are powerful. They are the drivers of these kind of processes. And so we believe in a real consultative process which recognizes who they are and where they are coming from, what has informed them. We do our best to make sure we are linking communities with existing resources from government, from all kinds of other actors, other non-profits. We make sure we are also providing resources sometimes to enable them to connect with whatever else is available elsewhere. And of course, we are a grant-making organization. So through making grants, we are able to, support communities to, do what they want to do. We've supported scholarships. We've seen some of the young people go through college. when they stand now before people, they are very confident people. They are no longer the orphans that we started with at the beginning, but they're actually confident young people beginning to make an influence in their world.
I think that there is a possibility to change, and change can only come by ourselves if we want to change.